we put parentheses. So this is how to do set. Put a square bracket. Then let's say, because I told you let's use automobile. Let's do automobile survey. I told you every time you're putting your variable, let your variables sometimes go in alignment with what you are doing, so that you will not be seen as somebody that don't know what you are doing. So let's see. So string, let's give a string value here, Audi, comma, let's see, BMW, okay, let's see BMW again, BMW. We'll be separating the elements by comma. So see Ferrari, okay, did I get the spelling? Ferrari, okay. Then we're having GM, sorry, okay, comma. We're having Mercedes. Mercedes-Benz, one of my favorite type of cars. I love Mercedes-Benz very well. Okay, so let's continue. We should Chevrolet. Okay. Then lastly, let's say GM. Okay. I know you'll be wondering why we're having BMW twice here. I'm having GM here. I'm having it here. Don't worry, as we go, I will explain. Now we created a set. This is our set. We have created it. So let's see. Let's run. Okay, there's no error. Means our set is correct. Now let's view it. Let's view it. View the set. Now let's come here. Let's see to display the set. We'll call on our what? We'll call on our variable. So which is auto survey. Let's run. Okay, you can see in a set, we say a set is an unordered collection of unique elements. Now, in as much as we have BMW here and BMW here twice, it doesn't change the fact that we put this twice. It means that since BMW is 1, definitely, since the BMW is 2 here, definitely it will represent just one BMW. So it doesn't take multiple elements of the same kind. Okay, so just take note of that. So we'll move further. Let's say create. Okay, want to create okay, let's not create. Let's say let's view an object in it. Let's view the object type. Let's view the object type and see the object type. Okay, let's view it. Let's view the object type. Okay, then let's see. I told you in our first class where we did data types, I told you the way to check for data types. So do that yourself. Pause the video and do that yourself and run it. Then I'll do my own. You see whether it will align. Okay. Whenever we want to, so we use the type function. Use the type function type. Then this. Okay. Now let's call on our survey. Now let's see what type it is. What type? Okay. You see it? You see it? Okay. It's telling us that the type the type is a set. That is the variable, the data structure is telling us that it's a set. Okay. Now whenever you want to look for anything, like I said, and you want to see the type of data type or the type of data structure belongs to, you use the type function. Now let's move further. Now you can also represent a set with the bracket of the dictionary. Now let me show you something. Let me copy this. I'll copy this. I'll copy this here. Okay, let me copy this. I'll copy this here. Okay, copy. Gosh, undo, sorry. Let me copy this, copy. Then I'll paste it here. Paste. Now I can use this form of bracket also, which we always use for our dictionary. Okay, you see it. Let me say auto survey set. Okay, let me just write automobiles. Yes. Okay, we can also use this kind of bracket to identify a set. Okay, so let's see, let's create it. Let's call it as well automobile. So let's call it UCC. Then let's check the type as well. Let's check the type. We have um automobile automobiles, and let's check the type. You see it still says, so you can use this curved bracket here, this kind of bracket. You can also use this type, you can also use this case. Okay, so that's how to create a set. Now we saw how we viewed the set, viewed it, we checked the type. Now let's move to some set operations. Okay, set operations. Okay, I'll come here. I want to make that thing a heading. For those of us that were in the last class, you understand what I'm doing. So now we'll say let's look at some basic set of operations. Now we created a set. First of all, you saw how we created a set. Now let me get an okay. Let me change some things here. Because I want to use something here. Let me say Volvo. Let me add Volvo to this. Let me add Camry. Let me add Camry to this. Okay, so let's take away one of these. Okay, we copy this, copy this, Control C. So I'm using this as my okay. Let me say automobile one let's say set is paste. Okay, we have this here. Let's create another variable automobile 2. Okay, set. Okay, let's use this normal thing we have here. Let's use it. Sorry, I'm copying and pasting. It's not advisable for you. So I was just starting programming. So okay, let's start with the or function or operation. Let's start with the or operation. So now we want to do a union set operation. Okay, want to do a union set operation. Okay, union set operation. Now let's add um, now do you know how I come about adding this cell? I told you you'll be on the one that is above, then you just press escape button, this thing will change to blue, then you press capital letter or you press B. As you press B, it keeps adding. Okay, so let me do the union. Let's start with the union function. Union set operation, sorry, not function. Union set operation. Start with the union set operation. Then we do control backslash. I will come here because I want to make that thing a heading. Okay. Oh no, what is happening? What's happening? Okay. Run. Oh no. Sorry. Run. Okay. Then let's see if we can combine them together. Okay. Combine them together. This is let's write combine survey. Combine survey is equals to, let's use this a variable here, copy, bring it here, paste it. Okay, then we'll say we use the or. Mind you, what we are using here is, sorry, I didn't indicate it earlier, what we are using here is or, the or union set operation. So okay, now how to do that, we use the or has a symbol that we use instead of or, which is this symbol operation. You will see it here, look at it. So we'll bring the other variable here, let me copy it, copy, let me paste it here. Okay, let's see, let's run it. Oh, it's giving us an error. Okay, now see, we are having an error that says name automobile 1 is not defined. Now okay, this is what happened. Our automobile 1 is having the same element with automobile 2. So in Python, whenever you maybe you initialize a value and you come again, you initialize the value using another um, variable name, what Python does is Python only notice the last one you initialized it with. So you see, we did automobile here and we still use the same element for it. And in Python, when you initialize at first, maybe I say x is equals to 3 and I come back and say y is equals to 3, whenever I want to output 3 and we do y, it is y that it will display. Like what I mean is, you can see they're having the same variables, so we outputted them, it indicated that this is the one that is defined. So the one you define last, that is the one that comes out. Okay, now sorry, let me use the initial, let me copy it, this one I was planning to use, sorry about that. Okay, sorry about that, you see. Okay, so now take note of that, okay, we paste it, you see they're having different values. Now let's run it, you see the error will go, you can see. Okay, now let's see if this will still, you see it has corresponded. Okay, now let's output it. Mind you, the operation we are doing here is the union set using the or operator. Okay, and you see what we did here, sorry, and you see what we did here. The or operator can also have this symbol, you can use this symbol for or operator. Okay, so let's see what will be our output. Auto combine survey, now let's output it, and you see it will combine both the automobile 1 and automobile 2. That is what the or operation does. It unites the set operation. Okay, like the union set, we have done set operation in our mathematics, basic math, well, union set, we have interset and the rest. So this is the or, we use the or for union set to combine two sets together. So this is the symbol I used in this case. In Python, this symbol represents or. So, and when you are doing a union set in our basic mathematics, we were taught that whenever you are having the same value, the same element here and the same element here, it will become automatically 1. So that is what happened here. So I will move further. Now we want to look at the intersect set operation. Okay, this is just familiar, this is just similar to set operation and basic mathematics. Now let's look at the and and intercept. Okay, intersection set operation. Okay, now do control backslash, then I'll come here, mark down, I run it. Now want to do intersection, want to intercept the two sets we have here. So for you to do that operation, we'll use the and operator. In this case, we did the union set operation, we used the or operator. Now we're using the and operator for intercept. Now let's see how we can do that. Let's say combine, let's combine survey report, then we do this. Okay, then let's combine this automobile 1 and the automobile 2. Let's see the intercept. Okay, now we say auto. In this case, I don't want to copy again, so that it will not be a habit for us. Then we use the ampersand for and, to indicate and. We use the ampersand sign. Then we'll call on our next variable automobile 2, and you can see. Okay, now let's run this. Okay, you say automobile is not defined. Now you see I made a mistake here writing automobile, and we did not define automobile, we did not initialize it with any value. Now there was something we did in our last class where we created a variable without giving it a value, and it threw us an error. And the same case in Python, whenever you create a variable and you don't give it a value, when you call it, it will give you an error. It's just like saying that you give birth to a child and you didn't name that child, you didn't give that child a name, and you left that child to grow up to the age of 5, and you just stand up and one day you just stand up and call a name, Chibuzo, and you didn't give him the name initially. You just call Chibuzo and you expect that child to turn. That child will not turn. It means there's an error in what you are saying. So that is what this thing, the thing we did here, means. It's throwing us an error. Okay, so now we'll address that error. What we initialized was automobile 1, so we indicate it here. So I told you Python is a case sensitive language also, so you be careful. All right, so let's run this. You see that's corresponded. So let's call it and see what happens to this operation. So we'll do combine survey report. That is the variable that we use in combining these two variable to give us an intersection set operation. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Okay, now in intersection set operation, in intersection set operation in our basic mathematics, we were taught that whatever is in the other set and that is in the second set, that is the same. If there is an element here in the first set that is found in this second set, that means there's an intersection. Like in this case, you can see Audi and, okay, you see BMW is here, BMW is here. Now you see Ferrari is here, Ferrari is here. You see GM is here, GM is here. You see Volvo is here, Volvo is not here, so it did not put Volvo for us. Mercedes is here, so I put Mercedes for us. Chevrolet is here, It's not here. It didn't output it. Camry is here. Camry is not here. So it only output the element in the first set that is in the second set. Okay, so that is that this applies to our basic math. So I told you initially that what we are doing whenever we are programming, we are not doing something that is abstract. Okay, we are doing something in the real world. Okay, so let's continue. Let's move further. Let me add myself. Now if I want to add more cell here, what do I do? So do that before, pause the video and do that before I give you the answer to that. Okay, if you have done that, let's clarify. You press your escape button, you see this in changes, then you press B. You see I'm adding cells to it. Okay, so now let's proceed. We have done with the or and the and operator. Now we're going to the basic one of the basic operator is in another basic operator. So let's see basic operator. Basic operator. In this case we're using in. Let's control backslash, we'll call markdown. I want to make it okay. Another basic operator is in. We say the in operator is used to generate a boolean value to indicate whether a given value is present in the container. It's present in that the container can be anything, can be list, tuple, can be set. So we want to see if a given value is present in the container or not. Now let's create a list. I told you that it is not just restricted to set alone. So these are basic operators I want to show us. Okay, so let's create a list and see something. Let's create a list. Okay, comment on it. Let's create a list. Now we have that's the names, or do I call them? Look, let's say students. Okay, let's give a list of students. Okay, let's say Emma, let's say Ada. Oh, now there's a problem with what I'm doing here. There's a problem with what I'm writing here. Now who can tell me the problem? Can you identify the problem here? Okay, let's see whether you got it. And this is the problem here. Whenever you are writing a string value, you put your quotation mark. Always remember, you can put the single quote, the double quote, the triple quote. Okay, the double triple quote. So now I'm using the double quote in this case. So I'm giving the list of students. Let's say Sarah. Let's use John. Let's use Do. Okay, now we can add more names. We can add Collins to it. Let's say Collins. Okay, now this is a list of students. We have created a list. We want to see how we can use the in operator. I told you the in operator is used to generate a boolean value, either true or false, to indicate whether a given value is present in the container or not. Now let's see. It's just like saying we're in the class and our lecturer will come and say, okay, is Nick in primary 5? Maybe we're in primary 5 and just say, Nick, is Nick in primary 5? Maybe we're asking one of these, is Nick in primary 5? If Nick is in primary 5, it will return true because we say yes, Nick is in primary 5. But if Nick is not in primary 5, we say no, sir, Nick is not in primary 5. So that is what this in operator will do here for us. We're having a list of students here, and we will see whether a particular value is present. If it is not present, it will return a boolean value. And I told us a boolean value, it has two discrete value, which is what just true and false. Okay, so now let's say since I've already called Nick, let's say is nick in then we'll call the variable that is holding this list. Okay, nick in student. Nick in student. Now let's see whether it will return true. Let's see what it will return for us. Oh, nick in student. Why are we having the error here? Okay, this is why we're having the error here. I didn't run this. I didn't run this here. So I told you we have to always run it. Okay, so that it will, your Python will identify that this is what you have initialized. So I didn't run it at first. That is why it gave me this error that student is not defined. So let's run this other one. You see, that's giving us nick in student. It's a false. That means nick is not in. Now let's check. Is nick here? Nick is not in the list. So you see that's returned what? A false for us. Now let's see. Let's pick one that is. Let's pick one name that is in the list. Let's say Sarah. Sarah in the Sarah. Let's call the variable holding the list student. Sarah in student. Let's check what to give a run. True means Sarah is here, so you can see it here. All right, you can use this operator to do so much. You can use it to do so much. Okay, now let's look at. Let's try to create a string. Let's try to create a string. Okay, let's try to create a string and see. Let's do another thing here. Create a string. Let's create a string here. So we say, let's say fruit is equals to orange. Okay, we're having orange here. Now let's see if, okay, let me run it. Fruit is equals to orange, so I've initialized it. So let's come here and see if, let's check if a is in this string. We can also, this can also be applied not just to data structures, it can also be applied to string values. Okay, let's see if a is in this word orange. Let's check for it. A indicates by putting a quotation mark, a in orange. Okay, in this case I'm not going to write orange. I'm going to write, I'm going to write the variable which is holding the value. Now why am I doing that? Because this name here, this variable represents the value. So I'm not going to write orange here. I'm going to write the variable holding the value, which is what? Fruit. Okay, now let's run it and see what to give us. It's giving us a true. Let me add. Okay, it's giving us a true. You can see a is in this string word called orange. Okay, now let's proceed. You can do that. You can use other examples. Try it yourself. Now let's check one more thing. Let's see G. Let's see G in fruit. G in fruit. Let's see. Yes, it's true. Okay, let's check the one that is not there. Let's say P in fruit. Let's run it. See, it's giving us a false because P is not in this word called orange. Okay, now these are the things you can do with the in operator. In is a basic operator in Python. Okay, so now let's move further. We have another basic operator. We have another basic operator which is called the addition operator. The addition operator. Okay, let's see it. Okay, control backslash. I want to make it the heading. You can see. Okay, now okay, let's see. I don't want to have minus and plus so that it will not confuse you. So let me just put this like this. Okay, so the operator plus addition operator. Okay, let's see how this works. Now the plus operator produces what? A new tuple, produces a new list or a new string whose value is the what? The concatenation of its argument. When we talk about concatenation, that's the merging, the joining. Okay, so now I will make you understand if you are confused. Now just listen very carefully. Now what this operator does is it concatenates either a string, either a tuple, or a list, so of its argument. So let's create a tuple first. Let's create a tuple in this case. Create Let's create tuple. Okay, control backslash, just comment on it. Let's create a tuple. Let's say a score. Let's say score is equals to score. Let's say score one. Score one. Sorry, score one is equals to um this. Okay, let's use let's indicate some scores. 67, 45, 45. Let's say 76, 23. Okay, now let's get another score. Score 2. Let's say score 2 is equals to let's say 90. Let's say 90. Let's say 78. Let's say 38. Okay, now you see that. Okay, let's just complete it. Okay, let's say 86. Okay, now you see in this case we're having two tuple here. We're having the first one, which is score 1, the score 1, which is score 2. Okay, let's say this is a test score of two different classes, and we want to merge the score together. We want to join it together. We can use the what? The plus operator to do what? To concatenate it. In this case, we say we want to concatenate this argument that we have done here. So let's see how we can do it. Okay, let's see. So we use the plus operator. We use this operator here to do that. So now let's say combine. Let's give the variable name combine score. You can name it whatever you want to name it. Okay, let's see score 1, then plus. Use the plus operator and see the score 2. And let's see, did I initialize this? Let me run this first. Okay, and let's call the combine score variable. Okay, let's combine it. Okay, you can see it has combined it. This you can see them here. The ones here and the ones here were joined together, so you can see no one is missing. So that's what you can use the addition operator for. Okay, now okay, in this case, so let me comment on this so that you know what I did here. In case you are reading my code, add tuples. Okay, in this case we created tuples. So you can see what we did here. You can also do your own. You can try another number. You can initialize different variables and do your own. Run it on your own system so that you see if you are following or not. Now we go to we'll try and see how we can add a list. We say when I was defining the plus operator, I said it produces a new tuple, produces a new list or a string whose value is what? The concatenation of its argument. Now we see if we can do the same thing to a list. Okay, now let's copy this. Okay, you will have to. Okay, let's name it something. Let's say state. uh, okay, let's say um okay, let's say state 1. state1 is equals to, I want to give a list of states. Okay, let's say Abia, 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 Enugu, Enugu, Imo, Imo. Okay, let's say Ebonyi, Ebonyi. Okay, now let's create another list. Let's say list 2. I mean state 2, state 2. Okay, we can, let's do this. Let's okay, let's say Benue, Abuja, 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 Niger, sorry, Niger, let's say Lagos, Lagos. Okay, so we have this here. So now let's see, let's run it. Just remember, okay, we'll come, let's see if we can add it, add list. Let's see if we can add a list. We'll call on the state1, state1 plus state2. Now let's give it a variable name. Let's give it a variable name. Let's say combine state. Okay, I see it here. I see it. Let's see. Let's run it and see. Okay, before we do that, let's just write this down here so that we can run it at the same time. Okay, you see, we run it. We're having Abia, Enugu, Imo, Ebonyi, Benue, Abuja, Niger, Lagos. Everything in this first state and everything in this second state variable are here. So let's move further. Okay, let's move further. Okay, we'll proceed. We'll be looking at how to concatenate string also. We've looked at how to concatenate tuple, how to concatenate list. We can also apply this operator on string values. Okay, now let's see. Let's say my let me say first name. I can, mind you, I can use a camel case to also name a variable. Let's say first name. First name is Gabriel. Last name Simeon. Okay, so let me see if we can concatenate it. Let's see. Okay, let me say full name, and let's call on the first name. Mind you, Python is a case sensitive. You see, I'm still applying the same format I use here that I used in this variable here also. So be careful whatever you're doing, so that not throw you an error. Last name. Okay, let's call on it. Okay, full name. You see. Now, you see what it's giving us here. It's giving us Gabriel Simeon. There's no space in it. Now, whenever you want to do a space in Python, what you have to do is you have to put a space, and the way we can put space in Python is by adding okay, let's see, let me show you. You put an addition operator is by adding what? By adding a quotation mark here, that single or double quote, so it gives space at the middle Okay, you still use your addition operator here. You are telling Python that first name, let's add, because when we did this, there was no space. So if you are, Python identifies this as plus, that is in the way that you join this thing together. So for us to give a space between, what we have to do is you include another operator here, then include a quotation mark, either single or double quote, then you give, there's a space in between. So Python will identify this as a space. You are telling Python that let first name add space, add to space, and let this space add also to first name. So now let's run it and see again. You see we're having space in between. So we always use quotation mark with space in between to indicate that we want a space in what we are doing. And when you need a space in what you are doing, you have to include this addition sign wherever you want it to add. We want first name to add to a space, look at it. Then we want the space itself to add to last name, see space, add to last name. So there's a space here. Okay, so now let's move further. I hope you are clear with what I did. So now let's move further. We also have another basic operator. A basic operator. What operator is that? Okay, we have another basic operator. um Multiplication sign, asterisk. Okay, okay, so let's control backslash and to put it as a heading. Gosh, what is happening? Okay, oh, I didn't get this one. So let's run it. So we want to use the multiplication operator. This is, we use this for multiplication, this asterisk sign. Now let's see what we can do with it. Now we say the multiplication operator produces a new tuple, list, or string that repeats what? That repeats the original content. Now let's see. Let's use do we use let's use age. Age is equals to, okay, let's see how old, let me pick randomly, comma 18, comma 20, comma 12. Okay, this is age. Then let's see what we can do with it. Age. Now let's include the asterisk. Okay, and let me comment on this. Sorry, operator with tuple. Now I want to apply this operator to tuple. So this is a tuple, you know now. So let's want to see what we can do with this. So the multiplication operator, like I said, produces a new tuple, list, or string. These are the data types you can apply, data structures you can apply to, and data type that repeats the original content. Okay, so we're telling we're telling Python that we want this to be repeated 3 times. Okay, we want this thing that I listed here to be outputted 3 times. Want it to repeat 3 times. Okay, that is what multiplication operator does. Even in our basic mathematics, when you do 2 multiply 3, we are telling ourselves that we will multiply 2 3 times. So that what's happening here. We are repeating this 3 times. You see, let's run. Okay, let me just call it. Okay, you see, let's see, 24 18 2012 1, 24 18 2012 2, 24 18 2012 3. You see, multiplication 3 times. So that's what you can do with it. Let's see if we can apply it on let's see if we can apply it on a list operator with list. Let's see if we can apply with list and do. So let's see. control backslash. Okay, now let's do here. I want to make it a heading. Okay, let's just leave it, let it just be a comment. Okay, just be a comment. Let just be a comment. Let's just put this one. I forgot to put it here. Okay, let's just be a comment. Okay, now let's see. um let's use ID. Okay, do we use ID? What do we use again? Okay, let's say ID, or let's say, what do we use? Let's say shoe size shoe size is equals to, okay, start calling the size of your shoe. Okay, we say list. So okay, the size of my shoe, I don't have forgotten. Let's say size of shoe. Let's say some people have little legs. Okay, let's say, who has the size of shoe? 7. Well, okay, let's see this size of shoe. Okay, want it to multiply into, how to repeat it, how many times? Let's say 2 times. Let's repeat it 2 times. Let me call it shoe size. Okay, call it. Now you can see 4, 20, 43, 24, 45, 67, 1, 43, 24, 45, 67, 2. So repeat 2 times. So okay, let's move further. Okay, I believe we understood that. Now let's see a string. Let's see how we can apply that to string values. Okay, now let's say, okay, let's say fruit. Let's say mango. It's a string value. That's why I'm putting quotation mark. So okay, we put this. Let's call it 3 times. Let's see if we can call it 3 times. See if we can call it 3 times. Okay, fruits. Oh, making a mistake here. Fruits. Let's run. You can see mango. There's no space in between. Okay, there's no space because this is a string. There's no space in between. So if you want, okay, mango. If you want there to be, if you want the space to occur, let's see if we can make the space to occur. You can see. So what I did here was, initially what we did was this. So when I came here, Python supports this. Python always identifies spaces when you leave spaces that are inside quotation. Python always identify it. It's sensitive to that. So this mango, I'm giving a space after mango, still in this quotation mark inside the string. So you see, if it's repeating 3 times, mango having that space, mango having that space, mango having that space, you can see. Okay, so let's see if let's move ahead. Okay, I see it. Let's move ahead. All right. We'll say the operator, asterisk, does not actually multiply the values. It only repeats it. Okay, you just have to know that it only repeats it, doesn't multiply the value. Okay, it only repeats the value that is specified here after the asterisk sign. So that is that for this class, the dictionary and set. I believe you were able to grab something, and try to give me a comment about whatever you think is difficult in the tutorial. Whatever you found difficult and whatever you were not clear about, just indicate it in the comment section. Then I will visit that and get back to you. Okay, so we are recapping on what we did. We did so much. We did dictionary, how to modify and assert dictionary. We went on, there are so many operations we did in the dictionary. We did the okay, modified it. It can be modified. We went to the data structure. We said, data structure, which is set. Set is an unordered collection of unique elements. So you see what we did there. We went to some operation like the OR and the AND operation. We say the OR is a union set and the AND is for intersection. Then we went to do some basic operator in Python, which is in. We have in. We have the plus operator. We have the multiplication operator. So that is all for today. So in our next class, we'll be looking at some functions, how to create functions in Python. Okay, we'll be seeing how to create functions in Python, and I believe the class is going to be a good one. So just anticipate for it, try and get the video so that you can continue. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for this session. Thank you for allowing me to hold your hands through the data structures and some basic operators. Thank you very much. See you in our next class. We'll be talking about function.